It was like 9.
Ooh. My 17-year-old self did not think I would be here. I can promise you that. So
I'm the least technical guy in the world.
But that's kind of the new modern game now. Is a little bit. It's less technical, less getting the perfect angle, and
you got a guy like Keith who is you know, he's got broad shoulders, he's powerful, he's got a wide stance, he can pretty much hit it as far as he wants to. And I mean, God, the guy's just long. I don't know what else to say. The only thing I hear about Keith, I never hear anybody say anything about his putting or his short game. It's just the guy kills it.
it's such a stable swing.
It is. It's something that he's obviously found that works very well for him, and he's found a way to be that powerful, that stable, and that consistent. And I mean, Keith and I haven't known each other very long at all, but I would guess, without looking at the stats, that he's a very good driver of the golf ball. Is that right, Keith?
Yeah, I would say that is my strength.
Yes.
That would be the strength of my game. With the Mizuno driver.
What would you say? What percentage do you go at it with the driver on just a normal, stock, not overly wide, which is like a normal tee ball? You going 80%, 90? Okay.
I mean, I don't have another gear like some of the guys out there. I have like a little bit extra,
Right.
but I give it a pretty good whack most of the time. I think that's just because I don't know, I have confidence in where it's going to go. And I might miss more fairways than most, but still, if swinging 80%, 90%, 100%, it's a driver. I'm swinging hard. It's the most forgiving club in the bag. Like, let's just go at it. And if there's a bunker that I might need a little extra, I'll go for it. But I mean, my whole thing is, if my takeaway is smooth and slow, everything gets matched up so I can swing as hard as I can. If I get fast off the ball, then that's when I get a little.
So that's your trigger.
That's my trigger. Sure. Like, I feel like if I'm real kind of slow and consistent right off the ball, then I can go almost 100% and not lose my timing.
Does that keep that stability for you?
It just keeps, it keeps everything in line. Like, what happens is if I get fast off the ball, then my arms and my hands and my arms and my hips and everything get mismatched. But if I'm slow off here, I feel like they're all in sync. And being in sync, you can swing as fast as you want if you're in sync.
Right.
And so I feel like if I can do that, I'm always able to kind of swing fast and kind of give it my all.
I'd like to hit it a little left to right. I feel like I've got a little more control. I like to keep the flight down just a little bit, because as soon as I start trying to get it up in the air and really, bomb it, I feel like I lose a little bit of control. And I'm a big fan of hitting it long and in the fairway. That's better than me just trying to get a
piece of advice from Steven there, long and in the fairway.
I feel like as soon as for me, I go at it pretty hard every time. And if I don't have another gear, at least not unless I get some adrenaline pumping and I'm like when I'm in contention or something like that. So for me, I'm going at it hard. And if I try and get a little more out of it, I'll kind of get a little bit out of sync. I'll kind of lean back on it. A lot of times I'll hit some right balls, which is for me, that's better than left, but that's still not exactly what I want to see. I'd rather just kind of swing within myself nice and aggressively and take what I get from that. Walker Cup's different. It's match play.
Right.
You can go out there and you can play great and get beat. You can go out there and kind of hack it around and just kind of clip the other guy. So it was a very different type of experience. It was a different type of golf because we were overseas in England, and it was just different. It was a big adjustment, just from playing for your country. I'd never been to that side of the pond before. The courses are a little bit different. The wind's blowing every which way, so it was something that took some getting used to. So in the practice rounds, I tinkered with choking up, 3 or 4 inches or something, just trying to hit it as low and as straight as I possibly could. But when it came down to it, I hadn't done that, so I couldn't control it as well as I wanted to. So I figured I'm just gonna make the best swing I can and try and, I guess the more solid I can hit it, the less the wind's gonna touch it. And that was just kind of the approach I took to it. It maybe wasn't the right approach, but it was the one I was most comfortable with. And I felt like if I was standing over the ball and I was comfortable, that was the best way for me to do it.
If you watch Steven swing, it's not your typical swing. And I think the biggest thing about what's changing is in coaching now, it's not about making someone swing better. It's about making someone swing more repeatable. Because golf is a game about repeating. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If you repeat the club being perfectly square, that from the ball this far short of the ball and this far past the ball, it doesn't matter what it does everywhere else. And I think for a period of time, with all the new technology, the cameras, the TrackMans, and everything, people were finding what was the right way to do stuff, and guys weren't able to repeat the right way to do stuff. And so they weren't getting any better, even though their swing looked better and said it was better. And I think finally it's going back to guys, whatever it takes to make their swing repeatable, that's what they do. And so there's nothing wrong with Steven's swing. I mean, a TrackMan might tell you that, a camera might tell you that, it's different. But what's right for him is what's the most repeatable. And he's found what's very repeatable to him, and it's obviously working. So why try to make it better? I just don't agree with that. And I think he's done a good job of kind of blocking all that, knowledge out of the game, because somebody could sit here and tell him, oh, his face angle is this, or his trajectory is that, or the spin rate, whatever. It doesn't matter to him, because if it's not repeatable, then it's not going to make him better.
I've never worked with anybody swing wise. Nobody wants to claim it for whatever reason, but it's just the way I've always done it. And I honestly didn't know that my swing looks like it does until I was probably in high school, and I didn't know that my grip was what it is until really I got to college and my teammates started making fun of me for what it looked like. It was just the way I did things, and for me, there's never going to be a reason to change that. I may, have a couple thoughts or work on something really, really basic, but for me, a lot of it is based off of the feelings that I get. And kind of like Keith was saying, you've got a lot of people that get really, really technical, and I always want to feel things. So I've never been the type of person that wants to, somebody will tell me to do something or try and feel something, but I always want to know why. And if I don't know why, I'm not gonna kind of latch onto it. And not that any teachers are doing anything wrong, but sometimes you got these young guys that are coming up, and they'll have somebody telling them how to swing the club, and they won't tell them why. They'll just say, get into these positions, and that'll make you a better player. But why is that going to make me a better player? I've always thought that I got to get into whatever I'm most comfortable with, because if I can get comfortable over the golf ball, I'm going to be able to make the best swing that I possibly can.
I don't think people realize how good these guys are. I mean, it's like, you're right. What Scratch is probably the top 1-2% of golfers, and this is the top 0.000% or something. It's a ridiculous separation between myself and these guys.
Show us the difference between the 1% and the 0.0001%.
Okay.
Right here. Let's see the difference. Wow.
Pretty good. First swing.
Maybe that driver does fit him. Or did you just get lucky?
First swing of the day.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, look at this guy.
Yeah,
He's
the
made
ball's
back
outside
in.
of your left toe. Come on, more this way. Put ball back in your stance, more. All right, now push your hands forward. Push your hands
I
forward.
like that.
There you go.
All right.
Now, so that's what you feel like you're going to do every time, is hit a low right shot, right?
Exactly.
Well, because you're setting up like this.
Right.
So if you're setting up like that and you move the ball back here, it's going to feel like that way. But you're going to be more repeatable if you're here. If you watch Steven, yeah, he has a funky grip and setup, but the club's just inside his left toe and his hands are a little bit forward.
If there's one thing that I could stress to somebody, especially with driver, is to find something that you can do repeatedly.
Right.
Because a lot of people get stuck in the how far can I hit it, and they think that that's the best way to play golf. For the average golfer, and you're obviously better than the average golfer, but for the average golfer, the best thing that you can do is put the ball in the fairway. That's where you're gonna gain the most amount of shots. You're not gaining a lot of shots by hitting it 5 or 10 yards farther.
Right.
You're gaining more shots by consistently putting the ball in play.
Which is way less fun. You like everybody likes to hit it far, but he's just saying if you want to get better. That's
if you actually want to shoot lower scores, just
Yeah.
find something that's repeatable and that you can put in the fairway.
All right, come on, get that ball back. Put your hands forward.
Hands forward is a weird feeling on a driver for me because it looks like we hit a bullet.
But could you do it every time?
Well, we're about to find out. I don't
Yeah,
think you can do
exactly.
anything every time.
More consistently.
I mean, you watch the best players in the world. You watch McIlroy, and he's probably the best driver in the world. His hands are not this way. Like you deliver the club here. So why would you start there? You deliver the club with it straight up and down. That's what the loft on the driver does to get the ball up. So then why would you trick yourself into this?
That's always come from just always being, not a very big guy, trying to get more distance was.
So you think you're going to get more distance by delivering the club to the ball like this?
Well, to me, that's growing up how I got distance, was trying to hit a big high draw.
Okay. So you're telling me you're trying to deliver the ball?
I'm trying to hit it slightly on the upswing.
Okay, but why would you can hit on the upswing with your hands and everything in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's true.
So yeah, there you go. Problem solved.
Change everything.
It's just such a strange feeling having always, my miss has always been, I've always had the ball this far,
And
too
this
far
is why
forward.
he's not on tour.
I think we found the difference
I think
between the
we found the
1% and the.
Oh, I don't like that.
0.2.
Okay, well
Is
then
that-
sorry.
Is that better? Is
I
that
mean, it's
closer?
okay. Stick it forward a little bit. There. Now we know why that driver's too stiff, because he can't get it to turn over.
Now the ball turns.
And there you have it.